Hello everyone, this is part 21 of What If Naruto Had the Ultimate Dojutsu, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. She forgot to tell us where this thing even is. Naruto yelled, making all the Jonin gasp. They all knew that the blonde was right. She hadn't told them where they were to go to take this event or exam, as some of them called it. Maybe we should just ask her then, Shizune said to all the Jonin in the room who were nodding, but then an Anbu came into the room and looked at all the Jonin. Some paid attention to him while the Anbu coughed. Tsunade-sama has done this on purpose. As Hokage, you need to be able to make accurate deductions and pick up on the clues that have been left to you as the leader of Konoha. Tsunade-sama has sent me to give you all the clue while she tends to her office, the Anbu said, and soon enough everyone started to pay attention to what Anbu was about to say. The place of new beginnings. It's where you begin and where you improve. Where the will of fire burns the brightest, the Anbu said, and then he shunshined off, leaving everyone in a stump. What's that supposed to mean? Someone yelled while all the other Jonin thought it over. Naruto racked his brain for the answer to the clue they were all given. He looked around and saw a few Jonin and their teams smirk as they walked out. It seemed that they had the answer and left. Hee, so much for being fellow Jonin. Naruto saw Kakashi and the other Jonin smirk as they left also. Naruto narrowed his eyes and thought over the clue again. Let's see a place of new beginnings. There are so many places that could be like that in Konoha, but for Shinobi it's now limited. Where you begin and improve it must be. Naruto widened his eyes and grinned like mad. He had to give props to Tsunade. She left clues as to where it was held. She said she wanted to make it like the Chunin exams, and where were those held last year? The academy, Naruto thought and smiled. He was almost sure of it. In fact, he could say that he was downright good with the answer. Shizune, Kurenai-chan, I know it, Naruto said, whispering to them. Kurenai and Shizune knelt down while Naruto whispered in their ears. Both of them gasped, thought it over. Naruto's theory did make a lot of sense and it was definitely sound. I think Naruto's right, Shizune. That might be the place, Kurenai said, and Shizune nodded. She then stood to her feet and pointed to the others. Then should we tell everyone else? She asked, and Naruto shook his head, making Kurenai and Shizune raise their eyebrows at him while Naruto explained. A similar thing like this happened back in the Chunin exams. There was a door with two guards at it. They placed a genjutsu on the floor and made it our room number, but we only went up 2 stairs when we needed to go up 1 more. It was to see if anyone could figure it out and get to the real place on time or they would fail. Plus it meant less campaign for others who did figure it out. Shizune, Kurenai-chan are Hokage does the leading, they can't afford to be lead by the nose, Naruto said, surprising the two women. They knew he was right, as the less campaign they had the better. I guess you're right, Naruto-kun. I'd rather not go up against all of them, Shizune said, and Naruto nodded. He was happy that his team agreed with him. Alright then, like the others, let's leave without saying anything, Naruto told them. Shizune and Kurenai agreed and the three left the room, which was still filled with quite a number of Jonin, but they knew that some of them would figure it out if given the time. Alright, we should use this day to get used to each other and come up with some formations. The event isn't for another 5 days, so I want to know about my teammates. Let's walk back to my house as we talk. I'll do a Kakashi-sensei-like introduction. So Shizune, Kurenai-chan, tell me your likes, dislikes, hobbies and dreams, then I'll do the same, Naruto said, making Kurenai and Shizune giggle as they walked back to his house. Shizune decided to go first and began her introduction. Alright, as both of you know, I'm Shizune Kato. My likes are cooked bean rice, taking walks with Tonton and Tsunade-sama. My dislikes are pork, debt collectors and Tsunade-sama when she's drunk and doesn't get her work done. My hobby is visiting cultural heritage sites since I find the history fascinating. My dream is to settle down someday and be a great medic nin, Shizune responded. Naruto and Kurenai smiled at some of that while Kurenai started hers. Okay then, I'm Kurenai Yuhi. I like going to the hot springs, I like to read books, and I enjoy spending time with my squad when I can. I dislike perverts, those who don't take their jobs seriously and those who make a mockery of genjutsu. My hobby is enjoying the sunset with an evening drink in my hands. My dream is to prove to the world that genjutsu is just as good as ninjutsu, Kurenai said, and Naruto nodded. They were still walking through the village, but came into the clan part of it and walked past the Uchiha Hyuga compound. Wow, you girls really do it well. Now then, I guess it's my turn. As you should know, I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I like training, all my loved ones, and people who work hard. I also like ramen and all the members of my clan. My dislikes are perverts, people who give up too easily, the time it takes to cook ramen, and that damned Orochi pedo. My hobby is training with Car-san and Kanari-chan, also training Kurenai-chan, Fu-chan, Anko-chan and Hinata-chan. My dream is to still be the greatest Hokage and become a good clan head, Naruto said, making Shizune and Kurenai giggled, although the latter had given a small blush across her face as they came up to Naruto's house. So when should we start training? I now understand why Tsunade-sama gave me the time off, so I'm free to do what I want for now, Shizune said, and Naruto nodded. Alright, we'll start now. I think we should head to a separate training ground. I'm sure the Jonin are all going to their training ground also, Naruto said, and his partners agreed with him. Naruto opened the door to his house and saw that the place was vacant. He raised an eyebrow before seeing a note on the back of the door. Naruto-kun, we all went back to the Forest of Death to train. Kyuubi felt the mental link to you and found out about the event. We won't say anything and we hope you do well. I'll be taking over Fu's Fuinjutsu lessons. Hinata has a D-rank mission with some of the others being led by a Chunin. Kimimaro and Tayuya had to go see Tsunade about something, and Kasumi is training in her taijutsu with Kyuubi. We might be here all day, so we'll see you later. Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto sighed as he looked at the note, but didn't complain and put it in his pocket. Well, it seems that we have the house to ourselves, so I guess we'll use this place's training area, Naruto suggested while Kurenai tapped him on the shoulder. Why'd you have us go into the Forest of Death if you had a training area? Kurenai asked simply out of curiosity. Sake. Naruto sheepishly grinned and rubbed the back of his head while he sat down on the couch. Well, that area's not really that big. It's only big enough for 3 people to practice perfectly, and the Forest of Death provides more experience, so that's why. Since they know I think the others will vacant when the event starts. Now then, I chose you two for some personal and practical reasons. Shizune, you're a medic nin, so I really wanted you on my team. You're also a mid-ranged fighter who's good on her feet. Kurenai-chan, you're a long-range fighter with your genjutsu, and I'm a close-range fighter. We all balance out, not to mention that I want to see how Kurenai-chan and Anko-chan do against other opponents than themselves or me, Naruto said, and Kurenai widened her eyes. So that's why he didn't pick Anko and Kurenai to be on the same team. It was all still in the interest of training. Well, you've certainly thought it out. Now how should we our formations? Kurenai asked, and Naruto took out a piece of paper. Simple, we will choose our formations based on my dojutsu that I use, Naruto said, making Shizune and Kurenai even more confused than they already were. Naruto chuckled at their confusion, but took an ink pen and wrote on the paper. Alright, I'll show you, Naruto said as he showed him the Sharingan, Byakugan and his Shinsainagan. Kurenai and Shizune were amazed by them, and Naruto proceeded to change his eyes back to their original blue eyes. We'll do our formations based on these 3 dojutsu. The Byakugan is a close combat type dojutsu, so when I use that, Shizune and I will close to mid-range, while Kurenai-chan will be support from long range. The Sharingan is for close to mid-range jutsu, so when we do that I'll be doing the close combat, while Shizune and Kurenai-chan will be long range. I believe that I can hold out with Jonin for a good while. The Shinsainagan is sort of a wild card, ladies, but when it's active it allows me to use 2 bloodlines at once. So when that happens, Kurenai-chan will do the most unexpected thing to most Jonin and will go to the front. You've been working on your taijutsu, so you can definitely startle anyone who knows you. When she gets to the front, I'll move to midrange and Shizune will stay back at long range since she's our medic. Is that good for everyone? Naruto asked. Shizune nodded, seeing the sound plan he came up with, and Kurenai found no room for argument. She knew she improved in her taijutsu, and if Naruto knew it also, then there was no problem with it. I have no arguments, Naruto-kun, Shizune said, and Kurenai nodded in agreement with her. Naruto grinned with a nod of his own and stood to his feet. Alright, Databio. Let's get to practicing and then we'll try some collaboration techniques, mainly Kurenai-chan, and I will try to do some good genjutsu. Her mastery of genjutsu and my Tsukuyomi. I think it could be devastating, Naruto said, and Kurenai, while she didn't show it, was more than happy to try and work on a genjutsu collaboration. Alright then, let's get to work. We only have 5 days to get this right, Shizune said, not wanting to waste any time, and neither did Naruto or Kurenai as the three walked into the training area. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Leader Sama, what trickery is this? Zetsu asked as everyone narrowed their eyes while they looked at Orochimaru, who was grinning like mad. Silence. It is for the benefit of the group that we have Orochimaru with us, he said while Itachi glared at the snake Sannin. Besides him, there was no other Konoha shinobi, and Akatsuki same with a few others. Why do we need him? We were fine on our own, one of them said while Pain glared at him. Are you questioning the word of a god? Pain asked, and everyone remained silent. No one could really match him and few actually wanted to try. Every member of Akatsuki's side as they came into view. There was Deodara, Hiden, Kakazu, Itachi, Kisame, Konan, Sasori, Zetsu, and Pain. All but two who were missing Nin from their respective villages. No, Pain-sama, we're not questioning you. It's just that he did betray us before, Kakazu said, glaring at Orochimaru. Everyone else nodded in agreement with Kakazu's accusation. Pain sighed and looked at Orochimaru. The only reason we're letting him back is because he's of use to us. Nothing more than that. We were more powerful with him than without. Now if that's over, I will pair Orochimaru with Zetsu. He will be a part of reconnaissance for us. We will also make use of the bases that he has around the elemental nations. Zetsu, Orochimaru will meet up with you at the desired location. Don't be late, Pain said, and Zetsu nodded with a bow. Yes, Pain-sama. We won't be late, the black half said, and everyone faded out while Pain turned to Orochimaru. I won't accept tricks this time. So you'd better watch how you do things around us, Pain said, and Orochimaru chuckled. Kikuku, you don't have to worry about that. So long as I get what I want, I'll be sure to do what you want. For now, Orochimaru said, leaving Nagato and Konan behind. Soon Zetsu popped out from the side of the wall next to them, and Nagato narrowed his eyes again. Zetsu, watch him also. Orochimaru is probably the only person I can't figure out. We must be ready for anything, Pain said, and the Venus flytrap man nodded before slinking back into the wall. Konan, let's go. We have things to do, Nagato said as he and Konan left the room. Back in Konoha, Tsunade sat behind her desk with a cheery grin on her face. She couldn't wait for the 5 days to be over. She would start packing to leave as soon as the winner was announced and placed in Konoha. Reikage was right next to her while he looked at a picture of the Yondaime. I still hate him, and now his kid knows that jutsu. How great is that? Said, rolling his eyes while Tsunade chuckled from behind her desk. It's not all that surprising. He's become quite the man, Tsunade said, and nodded, knowing that the boy did seem to be quite special, especially since he could fell Yugito the way he could. Tell me, Tsunade. I felt a chakra from that boy. It's quite high, almost surpassing ours. Is he a Jinchuriki? Asked, and Tsunade stiffened, but nodded that the blonde was. Chuckled and turned back to the picture. His own kid. Oh, the irony. B and Yugito are the only ones to have more chakra than me. To think we paired up 2 Jinchuriki. This is probably gonna be one powered up kid, said, and Tsunade didn't even want to think about it at the moment. Please don't tell me that. I've got enough of a problem and I don't need any more, Tsunade said, and chuckled at her, knowing how she already tried to deal with the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. I still think it's amazing that you came up with something like this. I'm sure the others in my village would want to see this also, said, and Tsunade nodded, but this was only a Konoha affair, and as such no other village was really permitted to watch this event. Tsunade just allowed the Reikage to watch as an act of kindness. Well, you'll be able to enjoy it to the fullest in a few days, Tsunade said, and nodded, wishing the days would fly by so he could watch. After all, Tsunade's crystal ball was a great thing to have around when she used it. Soon there was a knock on the door and Tsunade sighed. Come in, she said, and immediately Kimimaro and Tayuya came through the room. Raised an eyebrow, but didn't say anything as he watched the 2 nin appear before Tsunade. Something I can help you with, Kimimaro-san? Tsunade asked, and Kimimaro bowed. Tsunade-sama, do you think you could make Tayuya and I shinobi? I believe that we can't just do nothing while he stay at Naruto-sama's house, so we'd like to offer you our services, Kimimaro said, and Tayuya grunted the same thing. Tsunade placed her elbows on the table and raised an eyebrow. Well, I have no real problem with that, and since you're Naruto's clansman I technically can't say no to that, so I won't. I can't put you two into the service now because of an event that is going on in a few days, and besides it wouldn't really be my call on it, but someone else's. You'll know about it when the event is over. Naruto really has two good followers, Tsunade said, and it pleased Kimimaro to hear that, while Tayuya merely grunted a thanks. The two then left to go do some training while raised an eyebrow. That was a Kaguya, wasn't it? He asked, and Tsunade nodded. I pondered the thought for a few minutes, but then let it go. I thought they out. That must be the last one, I said, and Tsunade nodded again. They felt the silence take over, but then I looked out the window. I can only wonder who's gonna win this thing. It will be interesting, I said, and Tsunade chuckled. I have my bet on a certain person, Tsunade said, and I shuddered. Kami help him then, I said, which got a tick mark from Tsunade as she tried to let that one slide, but it was proving very difficult for the slug princess. 5 days later, Naruto gave his family a goodbye as everyone saw him leave. They were all grinning like mad when they heard what the HPT was. Everyone ganged up on Kasumi for not telling them, but she countered it by saying that she promised to Tsunade not to say anything. Everyone just as easily forgave her, and they all wished Naruto luck. They all really wished they could watch it, but Kyuubi didn't let any of them down. She had also been practicing her yin release and managed to make a crystal ball like the one that Sarutobi and Tsunade had when she had seen it one time. She said she'd be going with Naruto and quickly disappeared, leaving everyone else gathered around the ball, especially Tayuya, who wanted to see what Naruto was all about. She had to admit that the blonde had piqued her interest, especially when she saw him training with Shizune and Kurenai 3 days ago. She really wanted to see if Kimimaro was right, and she would see how good the blonde really was. Everyone else was more than happy to see Naruto fight. Even Yugito was at their house. She wanted to go there and see the others as she had introduced herself to them about 2 days ago. Everyone easily accepted her, and she was surprised to learn that Naruto was a Jinchuriki, which got even Nibi more excited. Kushina, Haku, and Fu also watched. They really wanted to see what Naruto's training had done for the blonde. Aside from the Namika's compound and Kiba Inuzuka, no one knew about HPT or what it was about. Oh, also Sasuke had been released 3 days ago. It should have been 4, but he had been in a few fights in the days he'd been in the prison, so he had to stay 1 more day. Sasuke had been looking around a few days, but simply didn't do anything for those few days, not like he could, since he was always watched even if he didn't know it. With Naruto, Naruto met up with Shizune and Kurenai. The three were walking towards the academy. They had been training and felt they were ready. They were going to show everyone. Naruto even managed to fix some of Shizune's stamina problems, but it was enough for her to pass at the moment. Are you guys ready? Naruto asked, making Shizune and Kurenai nodded. They both grinned, and everyone came up to the academy, or what was supposed to be there. They came to a grassy field, and Naruto narrowed his eyes. He had been to the academy all his life, and never once did he hear that the academy was destroyed. Did we take a wrong turn? Shizune asked, making Naruto and Kurenai shake their heads. I've been to the academy all my life, and this is the same route I always took. I know we're right, Naruto said, and Kurenai nodded. It's a genjutsu over the entire building, she said, and Naruto nodded with a smirk. It felt so different yet the same. A genjutsu for a floor in the Chunin exams, and now it was the entire building. If you don't make this, then you aren't fit to be Hokage. Your awareness must always be on high alerts for danger. That's what a Hokage should be. Always aware of the unexpected, Naruto said, making his partners nod. Kurenai released the genjutsu, and the entire academy appeared in front of them. They quickly walked inside and saw it was void. It must have been declared a day off for academy students. So where do we go? Naruto asked, and the three noticed the stairs at the edge. Naruto knew for a fact that those were never there before. Everyone cautiously walked down the stairs and saw it was completely dark at the bottom. They ventured nonetheless and came down the stairs. Why is it so dark? Shizune asked, and Naruto wasn't sure, neither was Kurenai. It wasn't a genjutsu, but then the lights came on and there appeared a door with an anbu next to it. He glared at the three and opened the door for them. Beware that there is no turning back once you enter this door, the Anbu said, and the three nodded. Neither Kurenai nor Shizune wanted to be Hokage, but they were more than willing to help Naruto do this if he wanted to. They owed him a lot and this could make up for some of it. We're not running away, Naruto said, stepping forward while Kurenai and Shizune nodded with him. They'd spent 5 days training for this day, there was no way that they would run away. The Anbu glanced at them all and narrowed his eyes with a smirk behind his face. A Hokage needed the guts to not back down to anything. Very well, you may pass, he said as he placed chakra seals on their backs. Naruto raised an eyebrow, but continued walking as he felt his chakra leave him. Kurenai and Shizune did also, but the three continued to walk as the Anbu closed the door. They all gasped when they saw desks and hundreds of rows for the Jonin. It looked exactly like an academy student room, only a lot bigger for all the Jonin. The group of three saw nearly all their Jonin friends. There was Kakashi, Guy, and Asuma, who were quite few rows from each other. Shikaku, Chusa, and Inoiki were in separate aisles altogether. Obiki, Anko and Tsume were so far from each other that Naruto had to turn his head to see all three of them. Shibi, Genma, and Hiashi were also apart from each other. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he saw the room filled with Anbu circling the entire room in single file going sideways. Soon an Anbu at the center called out to them. You three stop standing around and sit down. You blondie over here, the Anbu said, pointing to a seat. Naruto gritted his teeth and the word, but complied and sat down. He pointed for a seat to Kurenai and she followed his instructions, then it was Shizune's turn and she sat in her assigned seat. There were tons of Jonin filling the room, but Naruto also saw that the place was missing a few Jonin. Naruto managed a small wave at Tsume, who smiled and waved back. He was also sure that he saw Yugao standing in the single file line behind the Anbu captain in front of him. If Naruto remembered correctly, then the time he left the compound was about 11. It took them half an hour to get to the academy, so that meant that other Jonin only had less than 30 minutes to make it to the place. The 30 minutes were up and only about another 30 to 35 groups showed up, which was around 90 to 105 other Jonin, making the room semi-filled. There was still plenty of vacant seats, but that didn't matter as the door closed and they stayed closed. Everyone else sighed that they made it in plenty of time before the room was flooded by a ki, but nothing the Jonin and Tokubutsu Jonin couldn't handle. Naruto had faced a lot worse after all, dealing with Kyubi and her teachings. I resent that, Kyubi said, and Naruto rolled his eyes with a grin. It was then that the Anbu captain smirked behind his mask and cracked his knuckles. Welcome Jonin and Tokubutsu Jonin to the Hokage placement tournament. Congratulations on the unlucky few of you who made it to this point. Now then, we're going to be testing all of you right now, the Anbu said, and everyone winced at his tone. Kakashi turned to see how Naruto was handling it, but the blonde was just fine as he could be. First, I'm gonna lay down some rules. If any of you are familiar with Obiki's rules, then this is a good one. Rule 1, no cheating. If you're caught cheating even once, then you're out of here, the Anbu said, surprising everyone. He then smirked and held up some papers. Well, I know you won't cheat simply because you're all getting different papers. A Hokage is a political, militaristic, and economical leader. They deal with other countries, deal with war, and deal with the stability of the village as a whole. You will be tested on these things. Now then, try not to leave already, the Anbu said, and easily he passed out all the tests. Naruto looked at his and saw it was militaristic. He wondered what Shizune and Kurenai got, but he couldn't wait. They had all started. Naruto cursed that there were no mirrors so they couldn't cheat easily like in the Chunin exams. Then people couldn't use their special abilities because of the chakra seals on their backs, which couldn't be removed for some reason. Naruto tried not to rely on Kyubi this time and said he would try it himself this time. Naruto read the paper and narrowed his eyes. A war is happening before your eyes. You see your side outnumbered by the opposing forces. You are all exhausted and your backup is half an hour away. Your side is unmotivated by its chances of survival. You are the only one who can help them. What do you do to help your side survive the and survive? Naruto sighed and pictured the situation. Anything he could think of to help him out. Naruto saw others writing and shook his head. He had his own paper to work with, but then he glanced at Kurenai. He saw her give a hidden as her eyes moved in a weird way. It's like she was pointing to something. Naruto followed her eyes to see Shizune writing on her face, or rather tapping it aimlessly. Naruto widened his eyes and smiled. He heard the many distinct tapping of papers from the Jonin and grinned. Yeah, there is that way, Naruto said as he remembered Kyuubi teaching him Morse code that all Jonin used when options were short. They would tap a code. It ranged from pens, to simple humming or anything else like a cough or something like that. An Anbu threw a kunai at a desk near Naruto, almost making the blonde flinch. You and your group fail. Get out of here, the Anbu said, and the three Jonin left quickly. Naruto gulped, but turned his eyes to Shizune's tapping. Naruto tapped his own pencil while Kurenai and Shizune got his message. A shinobi had to be prepared for anything, especially the Hokage. Naruto smirked as he looked back at his paper. I'd give them the Morse code for a last stand. The most desperate action that requires retreat and counter strategy. Use smoke bombs to get out away from the enemy and lead the enemy to the allies that are waiting for us. Take any soldier pills that are with us and use a trap to confuse the enemy, Naruto said as he wrote on the paper. He hated to admit it, but he had Kyuubi help him with any difficult calculations that he might need done for him. He placed his paper down and held his head down. He turned to see Kurenai and Shizune smiling. It was like they knew which paper he had. He then widened his eyes when he remembered the Anbu had passed out the papers. People knew and calculated the types of papers their teammates would get and hoped they were right, then help them out. Kurenai finished her test and placed it down, and so did Shizune. It was strange to Naruto that Shikaku's team had finished the fastest and then Kakashi's team. Naruto's team was after those two and the others finished also. The Anbu had caught about 5 to 10 other group, which eliminated 15 to 30 Jonin who were disqualified. Soon that part was over and Naruto sighed. The Anbu grinned and nodded. Well, I guess most of you aren't weaklings, the Anbu said and watched as they all stared at him. What are you all looking at? On to the next test, he said. He did a single hand sign. The ground under everyone began to crumble while their chakra restriction seals dropped of their B. It seemed that they would only come off when that part of the test was over. Everyone felt their chakra return as the Anbu shunshined out. Get out if you can and head to the forest of death if you think you're fit to be a Hokage, the Anbu's lasting voice said as everyone gasped. There was about to be a cave-in for everyone. This test really wasn't a joke. Namika's compound. In the Namika's compound, everyone gasped and showed worry for Naruto and his group as well as the other Jonin. Is Tsunade-sama insane? Haku asked out loud as they saw the roof collapsing on the Jonin. They had their chakra restricted and it would be a while before it would all come back. Is he gonna be alright? Fu asked while Yugito stiffened. Even Tayuya wondered if the blonde would be okay. Kasumi gulped while everyone else watched. Hokage Mansion. At the Hokage Mansion, A and his associates were watching with Tsunade and widened their eyes. Tsunade, you're insane, A said, and Tsunade chuckled at him. Shinobi had to be prepared for anything. This wasn't a Chunin exam. This was a Hokage placement tournament. Don't worry, I trust my shinobi, Tsunade said and watched the cave-in. Back at the site, Naruto and the others gasped as they saw the earth crumble around them. The blonde ran to Kurenai and Shizune. The three met up and quickly dodged all the falling rocks. How do we get out of here? Shizune asked as they watched the rocks fall. Naruto cursed as saw that a giant boulder was blocking their only exit. Kurenai-chan, Shizune, grab me and don't let go, Naruto told them. The two nodded and quickly wrapped their arms around Naruto. Kyuubi-chan, I need your chakra right now, Naruto said in thought. He wasn't going to here and he knew none of the other Jonin would either, or they wouldn't be Jonin at all. Kyuubi refilled Naruto's chakra and the blonde closed his eyes. He locked his chakra to his house and his entire group vanished in the Hiraishin, making the Namika's compound cheer while Tsunade smiled, but then she watched her other Jonin. It amazed her that Guy, Asuma and Kakashi destroyed the boulder together and everyone quickly used their chakra to get out of the cave through the walls, which were a little slippery, but they were all Jonin so it was nothing to them. It seems that Tsunade only made that place under the academy to only last for the first part, so a seal exploded the place. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Tsunade asked, and Darui, and C looked at her. Are you insane? They thought at the same time. Namika's compound. Naruto, Kurenai and Shizune transported to the house and fell to the couch, making everyone gasp. Naruto, you're alright, Haku said, hugging him. Naruto coughed and so did Shizune and Kurenai. The three sighed and looked at the ceiling. That was too close for comfort. I thought we were Databayo, Naruto making Kurenai and Shizune nodded. Man, when she saw it was serious, she wasn't kidding. I can't believe she did that. I'm surprised she didn't bring down the academy too, Kushina said, and Naruto chuckled. Bar-chan's not that crazy. She probably had a seal made strong enough to cause a cave-in, but weak enough not to hurt the academy, Naruto said, and Kushina smiled. Just like in the days of the true shinobi. I guess peace does make you lax. Seems she's getting you all to take this seriously, and if you don't you'll get hurt one way or the other, Kushina told them. Naruto, Kurenai and Shizune agreed with her and dusted themselves off. Are you alright, Naruto-sama? Kimimaro asked, and Naruto grinned with a nod. He gave a thumbs up to everyone. It'll take more than that to take me down, Databayo, Naruto said to them. Everyone chuckled while Tayuya smirked. She was slightly happy that he lived. It would leave a bad taste in her mouth if he that easily. Well, at least you know how to survive, Tayuya said, although she wasn't really sure she should be boasting about that. Maybe you're right. A Hokage has to survive after all, Naruto said, and everyone nodded with smiles on their faces. Naruto soon remembered the Anbu's words and quickly got to his feet. Come on, Shizune, Kurenai-chan, we have to get to the Forest of Death. How ironic, Naruto said as they left the house. Well, I can't wait to watch now, Fu said, and everyone nodded. Forest of Death. Naruto, Kurenai and Shizune got to the place where they were supposed to go and grinned when they saw every one of the other Jonin had made it. Naru-kun, I thought you didn't make it, Anko said as she hugged the blonde. All the other Jonin chuckled also while Naruto smirked. Can't get rid of me that easily, Anko-chan. How did you guys get away? Naruto asked, and everyone pointed to Kakashi, Asuma and Guy. Those three attacked the boulder and managed to break it. Kakashi had to use his Reikiri while Guy used his dynamic entry. Asuma managed to see it in half with Futen Chakra. It was really a sight to see. When they broke us all out, we all climbed the walls with our chakra and managed to make it back to the small door where the staircase was. In truth, I'm surprised we made it, Ibiki said to him. Naruto chuckled with a nod, and before long all the other Jonin made it also. Everyone was lucky that no one but from those disqualified only 75 to 90 Jonin and Tokubutsu Jonin stayed in the group. Soon the Anbu units appeared and clapped their hands. Not bad. You all survived and you made it here. That's our Jonin for you, one of the Anbu said before a contestant yelled. Are you stupid? We could have I want out of this damn event, a Jonin yelled, and the Anbu nodded. Fine, you and your group are gone. Tsunade-sama's paperwork will be waiting for you, and trust us that you would have been wiser to take this event. It's a lot better, the Anbu said, but he and his group scoffed and walked off while Naruto sighed. Tsunade wasn't messing around. To be the village leader was a big deal, and if you couldn't see it then you just couldn't see it, simple as that. Anyone else wanna quit? The Anbu asked, and everyone discussed it for a bit. Naruto turned to Kurenai and Shizune for their answer. He didn't want to force them into anything that they didn't want to do. I'm alright with it, Naruto. Jonin are used to this sort of thing, or at least they should be. I remember a mission like that and I got away fine. So I can continue, Kurenai said, and Naruto turned Shizune. Compared to running away from debt collectors almost every day, that was nothing. I can still continue if you want, Shizune said, and Naruto nodded. Alright, we're good, Naruto said, and no one else was leaving. The Anbu chuckled and pointed to the Forest of Death. That's good. You all have guts. Normally people like us the fastest, the Anbu said, and everyone glared at him, but the Anbu continued. Since you want to continue we will let you, but now we'll be starting this event. Now then, scrolls have been placed in the Forest of Death. You are to retrieve them each with one of the elemental nation's symbol on it. 5 scrolls in all, but there are also fake scrolls in there also. You have 2 days to get 3 scrolls that when each face each other one wins, such as how an element beats another, like lighting beats earth and earth beats water. Now then, since there are 3 of you, so you must each get 3 scrolls. Easy enough, right? The Anbu asked, and some seemingly nodded, but then the Anbu grinned, making Naruto and his fellow Jonin narrow their eyes. But is that really a good HPT level event? No, it's not. Well then, to make it interesting, you're all going to fight, the Anbu said, smirking while everyone glared at each other. Anko glared at Kurenai while Naruto glared at Kakashi and everyone else glared at someone. The Anbu chuckled, bringing everyone's attention back to them. Hey, calm down. You're not fighting each other, the Anbu said, confusing the Jonin, but Kakashi, Naruto and the others were beginning to understand. Then who are we fighting? Someone asked, and the Anbu smirked. They all took out their swords, which confirmed Naruto, Kakashi, and the other Jonin's guesses. You'll all be fighting the Anbu of Konoha's Shinobi Corps, the Anbu captain said as everyone gasped. Naruto grinned as he stepped forward. He grabbed one of his 3 swords and chuckled. So there are multiple scrolls in the forest, and we must gather scrolls in the order of how they are superior to the other elements. There are also fake scrolls in there along with dangerous animals, and other things. Then we'll be facing you Anbu, and we have 2 days to do all of this, right? Naruto asked, and the Anbu nodded. Naruto chuckled and grinned like mad. Then let's get it on Databio. Naruto yelled, and the other Jonin were more than ready to begin their second part of the HPT. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.